It's Week 14 of the NFL, and we're going to see Mark Andrews. He's on the doorstep of another milestone in a great season, approaching 1,200 yards. It's the Ravens and the Rams on EA Sports.
Some might say it's cold. Others, like myself and my partner, we say this is football weather as we welcome you to chilly M&T Bank Stadium near the Inner Harbor in Baltimore. Today it's a Week 14 matchup that should be a good one, as it'll be the Los Angeles Rams taking on the Baltimore Ravens. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Raven team as they get ready here. They come in off the extended break from the bye.
I think it was much needed as well. You play 2.5 months, you're ready for some time off to get set for the home stretch.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Rams, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
Three-quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. So here are the Rams set to go to work on offense. And they're led by a man who topped the 50,000-yard mark in passing for his career a season ago. In year 15 now, here's Matthew Stafford.
In his stat line last week, that's not going to get him to the Pro Bowl. All right, no touchdowns, no interceptions, but they won. And so the bottom line for him is team won, managed the game effectively, led them to victory. He's doing all the right things.
They begin the drive with Williams. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now.
Look at this Baltimore defense.
And this unit, very tough to throw against. Currently second best in the NFL.
And this unit knows exactly where they rank. They're number 2 against the pass in the NFL. You know they have their sights set on being number 1, looking for a big game today.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Against a team coming off a win just as your team did the previous week, you talk about being physical all game long. Sometimes being physical is just being on the spot and helping force the incompletion.
Crowd getting in it a bit already. Here's an early 3rd and 10. From the gun, here's Stafford.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And this one will be brought back to the 22.
And part of why they came to this week with a winning record is that they feed off of mistakes like this. And now it's a prime opportunity. Just moments in the game to get a short field touchdown off of their big defensive play. Now on the other side, they were already the underdog in this one. They just made their uphill battle just a little bit tougher.
The Ravens offense set to go to work, and it's Lamar Jackson now in his 6th NFL campaign who will lead the way.
You talk about the pause that refreshes. I think it's come at a perfect time of the year for them, hasn't it? You know, the season is starting to wind down, got a little bit of a break. But how about the guy calling the signals? He's got to be excited about that because now he didn't just get a game plan for 1 week. He was able to work on it for 2 weeks. I can't wait to see if they have anything special in store for him today.
After the interception, here's Jackson.
And this intercepted on the first play of the game. And the Rams are going to take over at their own 13-yard line. So the interception there. And, Charles, I'd imagine that's something you can maybe live with in December, but not come January.
And I love how you make the distinction there. You're talking about regular season versus the postseason, the playoffs. Because these guys, they've already clinched the playoff spot, but they know, looking ahead, when they get into the postseason, they've got to take better care of the football because turnovers in that situation, they really become magnified.
Stopped in his tracks and given a loss on that play by Patrick Queen.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
And some space here. There he goes, right side.
Off to the races. Inside the 20.
Touchdown, LA.
Kyron Williams with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Rams are on the board first on the road here in Baltimore. Piñeiro's extra point up and good.
And that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Piñeiro to kick it off.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
The Ravens heading out on offense as we look at the playoff picture in the AFC.
Playoff picture here, and you see they've got that number 2 spot right now. Obviously a lot to like about that and where they're at in this home stretch of the season, but that first round home game is not guaranteed, Charles, until they lock up their division.
Bottom line, win the division, stay number 2, you get a favorable game at home to begin what you hope will be a nice postseason run.
And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be second down. Well, this defense for the Rams, they were very strong last week in that win over Cleveland.
And what keyed their victory? The pass rush. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks, and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well. Hard to throw the ball downfield when all you're seeing is opposing jerseys come at you.
Now it's Jackson on the move to his left.
Oh, he had a man open. He overshot him. It's incomplete.
He was looking for his tight end, Mark Andrews, there, and it's third down.
You talk about this Rams defense.
They were very strong last week in that win over Cleveland.
And it was the pass rush that really keyed their victory. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. defensively lucky there, able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
A 45-yard punt, 4 there on the return. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their 38. They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. Taken down at the 42.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
2nd down at 6 now from the 42. Now it's Stafford. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. It's Deontay Banks with it. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. Well, it turns out it's not their offense who gets him on the board for a CD. It's the defense coming through right there with a pick 6.
And I know from experience throughout the week when you go against the offense, you're challenging them all the time. You're letting them know, hey, don't worry about scoring this week. We'll take care of it. We'll get a few pick 6s and score ourselves. You're just kidding? But how about what he just did right there? Laid it out for the rest of the game. We scored. Hey, offense, can you keep up with us?
Tucker with the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. And the margin for error gone now after the pick 6 a moment ago. This is a tie ball game now as they start 1st and 10. Stafford and the Rams come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. After the pick 6, they go right back to the air. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
On Stafford for the 3rd time is intercepted. Picked up by Marlon Humphrey. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. They'll have very good starting field position here as they try to break our tie, and they start 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that guy.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed. But they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. They'll run. This is Gus Edwards. Jordan Fuller there to take him down.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it, Brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. A handoff running left is Dobbins. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
And they'll hustle up to stop him well shy of the first, right around the 15. We've now seen 3 consecutive 1-yard gains, and it brings up 4th down. Tucker's kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7.
So the defense able to force the interception, and the offense working their way to field goal range and able to get 3 out of it.
Yeah, and give them credit for that. They took the ball, maneuvered it downfield, and while they couldn't get exactly what they wanted, which was a touchdown, they did get 3 points out of it, so they paid off what the defense gave them. Both sides will be thrilled with that.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25.
L.A. readies for its next possession. Still early in this one, Charles, but the last time this offense was out there, they threw their first interception of the ball game, so trying to avoid repeating that mistake here on this drive.
And to put a positive spin on it, at least it happened in the first half and not in a close game in the fourth quarter, but you're absolutely right, partner. One of the last things this offensive quarterback wants to witness again in this game.
Kind of an obvious question, Charles, but anything you try to avoid after your first pick, or you say it's 1 interception, we're still in the first half, I'm about to do the same thing?
I think you want to avoid playing scared, and put it into the mind of the quarterback that you've lost confidence in him. Make sure you get some throws that he's going to be able to complete, make him feel good about himself, and continue to run your offense.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Stafford now to throw.
Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. How to get in there and knock another one away. I think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder.
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. We'll call that a 49-yard punt, but a net of just 39 following the 10-yard return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
And you figure this should be a healthy, a rested, a focused unit, and they're working on a good winning streak. They had the week off last week. This is really a team, Charles, that should be in top form.
I would agree absolutely with that. What coaches worry about, what organizations worry about, though, is overconfidence. They've been playing so well, and now they've had that extra time off. And we've seen teams come back off the open week and come out flat. So what a lot of good coaches do is they kind of game plan for that with their teams. On defense, they may blitz more in the beginning to get them going. On offense, they may go more up-tempo. Anything to get them out of that lethargy right at the beginning.
10-7 our score after 1 right here on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Baltimore. It's the Ravens in possession as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
On 3rd down, Jackson.
He throws it on the move but can't connect as that falls incomplete.
Sometimes the game is pretty simple. Put a few extra defensive backs on the field, give them nowhere to throw the football, force the incompletion, and get off the field on 3rd down.
This first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Fair catch called for and collected right at the 10-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Rams will be backed up deep to begin the drive as they take over 1st and 10.
Stafford and the Rams come up 1st and 10.
At their own 11.
He'll hand this to Williams to start things out.
And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. The Georgia man, Roquan Smith, came in and got him.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
A shotgun snap for Stafford.
Throws left side. Atwell's got it.
Short completion, just 4 yards. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9.
Well, it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do in that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside.
And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line. It's a sack.
Patrick Queen
in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. Here comes the Rams punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out of there. He'll take it a few steps in front of the 50. We'll call that a 43-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already.
Baltimore about ready to go on offense. And Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing a throw. Now they've got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the first down. And don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36.
4 yards the pickup, first down. The Ravens are 11-1 now on the year. And they come in off the extended break from the bye.
And I think it was much needed as well because you play 2.5 months. You know you're ready for some time off in order to get prepared for the home stretch. In fact, when they looked at the schedule to start the season, I think they liked where their open week fell.
Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted.
And the Rams are going to take over at their own 41.
You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that will bring up 2nd down. Throwing is Stafford.
He'll find his man Skoranek over the middle.
Touchdown, LA!
Ben Skoranek,
his first touchdown on the year.
And the Rams are able to move back in front.
As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off.
And he returns this to the 22. Last time out, of course, he threw the interception. Then they gave up the touchdown, surrendered the lead. So now working from behind here. 1st and 10.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 22.
They'll start with a handoff to Dobbins.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
2nd and a couple.
Jackson eluding the pressure right.
He's got a full head of steam.
And he'll get this down to the 39-yard line.
A gain there of 30 big ones. That last last throw, Charles, puts him over 15,000 yards passing now for his career.
And Brandon, they're not going to stop the game and give him the game ball here, but that's still a pretty impressive number, and he's got plenty of more good football ahead of him. Although I would say the team should give him a game ball after it's all over.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. A give up the middle to Dobbins. And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 3. Off the play fake to Dobbins. Here's Jackson.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3.
They'll try and pick it up with Mitchell.
And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. So they'll pass on what would have been a 49-yard field goal attempt, and they're going for it on 4th down. Jackson from the shotgun.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far.
Picked up by Alexander Johnson.
And the Rams will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But, Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go to the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
And incomplete, a drop there in the middle 3rd of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. Out of the gun, Stafford. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
Hang on here. We got an injury. And, yeah, it's Cooper Kupp who's going to receive some attention following that last play. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
Stafford looks to throw again. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey.
Now he's loose down the left sideline.
And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown.
So they'll go ahead and accept the penalty.
On 1st down, Stafford here. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him.
Adafe Owe showing off the pass rush skills.
That was their 3rd sack of the ball game. 2nd in the league in sacks coming into this one. They're planning on making it a race to the top, aren't they?
Absolutely. They're looking up at that top spot, but they might be looking down at the 2nd spot pretty soon.
Stafford's throw pulled in by Robinson here.
And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
That's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now drive is starting with great field position, is facing 4th down.
Here's Ethan Evans now.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away.
The Raven offense going to take over late in this first half. A slim deficit here in a one-possession game. Not much time left, obviously. We'll see if they can march this down the field, at least get 3, and take some momentum into the locker room.
trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw.
Checks this one down. It's Mitchell.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
Any questions of how they'd approach this drive were answered right there. They come out throwing, and they get a nice pickup here toward the end of the first half.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Chart the motion man right. They'll get it forward to him on the touch pass. Finding space at the 40.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it out past the 45. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give them 17 on that pickup.
Just a simple tap pass, but it pays off in a big way.
And sometimes the simple stuff causes the most problems for a defense because there's a breakdown in communication there. When that receiver goes behind the line of scrimmage and it looks like he's going in motion, someone either has to go with him or he has to be passed off to another defender. Somehow they didn't get that communicated well, and it turned into a nice play.
And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. Jackson now rolling to his left. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. To throw is Jackson, escaping the pressure right. And he's going to go down. This will count as a sack, a very short sack, taken down at the 2. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? Out to his left. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson in the final seconds of the first half.
And the Ravens have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half. Well, this defense, so many things to worry about in the red zone area, but you'd have to almost think that Lamar Jackson running the football, that might be number 1.
It should be number 1, and in this portion of the field where things shrink a little bit because the receivers can't run past anyone because they'll run out of real estate, you should have all eyes on Lamar Jackson when the ball is snapped and try and keep him back in the pocket.
Yeah, I don't think that they were surprised he was running it there. They just couldn't stop him, and he ends up in the end zone.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line.
And with 10 seconds left, not really enough time to put something together.
They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So 3 seconds here remain in the half on as the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. So thanks to the late field goal, we are all tied up heading to intermission. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit.
All right, we'll bypass the halftime show in favor of returning to this late season game with the teams coming back from the locker rooms here a bit early.
Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. This Ravens offense heads back out there, led by Lamar Jackson. And he's got to be wondering what happened in that first half. 3 interceptions, very uncharacteristic.
And even the great ones go through phases like this, like what we just saw. And most of them, they have such a mental capacity to throw it out and essentially start over. I think that's where he's headed now.
He's got his opportunity to throw it out. Let's see how he does. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. Give him 30 yards there.
When they needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. Shifts past him at the 45. He's got it to the 43 here.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Here's Jackson. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And he'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down. They'll run up the gut with Dobbins. Fights loose. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 53 yards rushing for him now to this point.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
From the 23, here's a 2nd and 4. Another run here with Dobbins. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, and defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. Now Jackson. Flush to his right. Able to fight through one tackle. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs. Able to improvise and get the first.
That's multiple times now he's tagged him with a big gain with his legs. Really showing off some nice awareness and the ability to correctly realize when he's got a chance to tuck it and go himself.
Dobbins trying the left side. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. J.K. Dobbins, touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Ravens have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the second half. So the rushing touchdowns continue to stack up, CD. That now 15 for him on the year.
And give him a ton of credit for staying healthy, being a smart runner, and it's showing just how important he's been to his team. He's got to be their MVP at this point in the season, and those votes may have been turned into league MVP votes when it's all said and done.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and they will take a 7-point lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Now the attention turns back to the Rams offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point. But it's still too early to get there. They can still run their offense. Plenty of time to get back in this game.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down. Powering forward. And he'll be out right at the 35. It'll be a pickup of 12 yards. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. Trying to barrel up in there, but I don't think he got it. No gain on the play there. Nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on fourth.
That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Taking it about the 16. It's a 47-yard punt, return of 6.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
And the Ravens taking the field. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line.
Well, I think the hope is, with a touch pass like that, maybe you catch the defense off guard, but they were all over that one.
And it is the kind of play that works better against certain defenses, and this clearly was the wrong one to run into. Really nice job getting him down behind the line of scrimmage.
No, bottled up, fumble. It's out, it's loose.
When that ball popped free, we could hear it all the way up here. Those guys down on the field alerting everyone of the fumble. He's lucky that his offensive mates picked him up and jumped on it.
Yeah, and you have to think to yourself, and I'm sure they've been echoing it on the sideline and into the huddle. Guys, we have the lead. Just take care of the football. Don't make it easier for them to start to make a comeback.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
The Ravens send their punter out now, standing just outside his own goal line. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Here's Kyron Williams running out for another possession.
He's up over 100 yards, and he'll be looking to get in the end zone again.
Has a tremendous nose for it, doesn't he? The ability to pile up yardage and find the end zone, that's the combination you want in your runner.
That's a combination any coach wants, and we'll see if he can find that end zone once more. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Back to throw, Stafford. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Roquan Smith able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
So now Stafford and the Rams after the sack, and they're staring up at a 3rd and long.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Going up top for Kupp. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away.
Following the punt return here, there is someone shaken up. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. On 2nd down, Jackson. And this is going to be pulled in by to tight end Andrews. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. We have played 3 quarters. Back now in Baltimore. It's the Ravens in control of the football. They've also got the lead as we get set for the fourth. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson. It's caught by OBJ.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Here's a 2nd and 5. Here's Jackson to throw. Flushed out right. Got him in on the right sideline. That's Andrews. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7.
And these guys, sir, they're not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the fourth quarter.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They'll run with Dobbins, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage.
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Ravens add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. So the lanes continue to be there for Lamar Jackson to run that football. That his 2nd touchdown run of the game.
You know what I would like? I'd like for us to be able to go into a defense's room after playing Lamar Jackson and watch the tape and see how much of the lane was really there and how much he created just through his talents. In any event, Lamar Jackson finds the end zone, doesn't he?
He always seems to, but that's a good point. We sometimes put blame on the defense. Maybe we just need to praise Lamar Jackson a little bit more. Now the Rams offense, they work their way back on the field. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. Stafford throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter, and find their way open.
Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Desperation time for Stafford on 4th down. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. No luck for the Rams as they fail here on 4th down. And boy, that means this next drive is going to start at the 3-yard line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And now following the desperation turnover on downs, they're set up with a 1st and goal to go. Steps away. And they'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Ravens stretch this 4th quarter lead even further, and they are closing in on win number 12 of the season.
Well, this, of course, set up by the stop a moment ago on 4th down, and now that might be the score that puts this one officially out of reach.
And it's a tough one because your hands are tied when you're losing in the 4th quarter because you know you've got to make something happen. They couldn't pick up the first down, and after that, the air just went right out of the balloon, and you knew you were looking at a defeated team.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
And the Rams now coming out on the field.
We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. Stafford and the Rams come up 1st and 10
at their own 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. A shotgun snap for Stafford. Under pressure, they got him again.
So now Stafford and the Rams after the sack. And they're staring up at a 3rd and long.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
That incompletion brings us one snap closer to the end of this one. Maybe mercifully, partner. And let's face it, though, no surprise, they're still flinging it around. They have pride, too.
Here comes the Rams punter now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Taking a couple yards shy of midfield. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They go play action now. Jackson. That's caught. It's Flowers. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. 23 yards on the play.
Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, 4th quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
And they've got 3 tight ends here on 1st and goal to add some extra mass.
So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. Now it's Jackson on the move to his left. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson, an 8-yard touchdown run.
And the Ravens up the lead to 4 scores now here in this 4th quarter.
Bingo, partner. Lamar Jackson in the end zone. Nothing that surprises us at all, but when you look back at his touchdown totals in the last couple of years, just 3 last season and 2 the year before that. I think oftentimes he runs around, creates great yardage, and it lets his running backs carry it into the end zone to make everyone feel good. In this case, he got a little bit of the glory himself.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Throwing on third down, Stafford.
Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
This has obviously been a bad loss, but one of the few things they can still do is try to throw the ball all the way to the end zone and get some points on the board so they're not shut out over the final 2 quarters of this game.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. They snap it to Stafford. And this one is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
And despite the late lead, Jackson to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by John Johnson.
And the Rams are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
That's a beautiful read there by the safety. It's zone coverage, so he's just going to sit back and watch. He knows he can't get beat deep because he has the end line to protect him. So he can react to everything in front of him, and he makes a great break on the football and comes down with the interception.
Brings up 2nd and 8.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Throwing is Stafford. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there.
That's caught. It's Tutu Atwell. It'll be a first down for the Rams there on a pickup of 18.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line.
Well, I get it, Charles. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Down big, they just sent their receivers out and let it fly. But the defense, they were ready.
Yeah, and there aren't too many people left in this stadium that couldn't see that coming. But that's not a major criticism at all because you had to try it. What you're hoping for is one of your athletes out-athletes everyone else and makes a dramatic play.
Oh, Jackson's going to throw it.
That one into the hands of Flowers.
The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
1st and 10 at the 13-yard line.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Off the play fake to Dobbins, here's Jackson.
To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
The CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around.
And give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
Well, when they said before the game that they were going to try and execute every second of this contest, I guess that was taken literally because here they are in the final moments of the 4th, putting another touchdown on the board, Charles, to add to this big lead.
I'm not a big believer in 110%, but it certainly applies here, doesn't it? Because some guys just can't go with less. As long as there's time left on the clock, they're pushing to get to the end zone one more time. They don't really care about what the optics show. They just want to finish the game off the way that they like to play it. Full speed, all out.
And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The LA offense ready to go for their next drive.
Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, it's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked.
Previous play
but
is under
overall,
review.
they were just out-personnel.
So the folks in New York just going to wind up confirming what the official saw as this play will stand as is.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. And now here comes their final timeout as they take it with 8 ticks remaining. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
Meanwhile, Stafford's throw is complete into the hands of Higbee.
And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they're going to face a 3rd down. One last throw here for Stafford.
That's to the sideline and incomplete. And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go at each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for Baltimore, the win moves them to 12-1 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Meanwhile, for the Rams, any slim hopes they had at a playoff berth gone now as they drop to 4-9. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.